What's going on, everybody? I'm Jake Adkins with another episode of Feast and Flight. We are doing a very special episode. We're smoking some cigars and we are drinking some whiskey with my guest, Jesus. Jesus is the owner of Stogies N Bogeys. They make these guys here. So if you're a golfer and a cigar smoker, then these are perfect. You can put them in the golf cart, put it in the ball holder, and then it just goes in like that. It's perfect. Jesus, thanks for coming on the show.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me. I mean, look, you can't beat this view.
Absolutely. Can't beat the cigars, can't beat some whiskey, and some good food from, of course, the Sheldon Inn. So what got you making these?
It kind of fell backwards into it. I was a welder for about 12 years. Okay. And we had to fabricate all our own stuff, so I had a lathe available to me. So I was able to use it, and when I had just started playing golf, probably about 6 years ago, I was still thinking that the golf balls were made out of rubber bands inside, which they used to be. Yeah. So I wanted to see that, and so I drilled a hole inside of it, and somebody was walking by. I don't remember who that is. I owe them a lot of credit. They said, you could probably put a cigar in there. And I was like, yeah, I guess I probably could. And little by little, we did a lot of trial and error, and enough people started asking me on the golf course about it. Where can I get one? Where'd you get it? That's pretty cool. And we were actually wine tasting with some buddies, and they told me, you need to start an Instagram. You need to start a domain, a website for this type of stuff, other than just selling it on my personal Instagram. So there's about 5 domains out there, Stogies N Bogeys, in one form or another. Because we were wine tasting, it was our last stop. Yeah. We misspelled it so many times. So we have about 5 out there that are similar, which I guess is probably a good thing. Yeah. But that's kind of how it started, and it's been snowballing into this great thing. It honestly it changed my life. Yeah. Golf itself changed my life, and then falling into this, having being able to quit my job, doing that just to do this, pretty much full time. Yeah. It's get to meet people like you, get to travel and golf. It's a great thing. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just something that I was passionate about, and it seemed to work out. And honestly, it's easy. So. Yeah,
that's great. I mean, it's fun to follow you on Instagram and kind of see the whole process from beginning to end on when you create these. And I remember when we met, what, 2 years ago, you dropped this exact one off, and I use it every single time that I'm on the golf course and I have a cigar. Sometimes I'm the only one smoking. Some of my buddies, I'm like, hey, you guys want to do a cigar? I want to show this off because it's such a cool thing. And finally, I was at a golf tournament a couple weeks ago, and I didn't have any cigars on me because the guys I playing with, I'm like, I know they're not going to smoke. I'm not going to waste my time bringing some out. And then the group in front of us offered me a cigar. I'm like, oh, you guys cigar smokers, so cool. And then so I nonchalantly brought this out as I teed off and just stuck to the ground for my cigar. They're like, what is that? What is that? Oh, you guys got to get one of these. You don't know about this? But and
that's honestly a lot of our success is that word of mouth. And you try to describe it to people, it doesn't quite make sense. Right. But once they see it and they see it in action, it's a no-brainer. Oh yeah. Especially for corporate tournaments, if people want to promote their own brand, they could just slap their logo on there, hand it out to everybody. Right.
Absolutely, and it's a conversation piece. Not only that, but so you got into golf 6 years ago. About 6 years ago. What's your handicap now within those 6 years? Because there's people like me.
My wife will tell you I have a lot of handicaps.
Yeah, my wife will tell me that too.
But I would say probably about a 12. Yeah, on a bad day.
See, I've been playing a little longer than 6 years, and I'm not a 12. I am. What's like twice 12?
12
I'm like
times
that.
2.
Yeah.
12 times 2.
Yeah, I love playing golf. Golf is such an amazing sport because it really doesn't matter how old or young you are. You can pick it up and play it at any time, and you get to do cool stuff, smoke cigars. I mean, that's kind of the dream, having a golf product that your job is to go on the golf course and promote your product. Yeah. And
it's doctor prescribed, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's, I need to see your doctor. So we got some whiskeys for us to try. We got these from our restaurant here. So and these are recommended from Shane, our bartender, great bartender at our restaurant. So we're gonna start with the Red Breast.
Okay. Let's see this. And I think this is a very underrated whiskey. I tell a lot of people about it. Not a lot of people have heard about it. And once they try it, they're like, why haven't I heard about this before? Yeah. I'm like, well, I mean, you need friends like me in your circle, right? It smells great. And I'm not a whiskey connoisseur by any means, or even cigars, but I know, like, I know what I like.
Right.
And this is something that if it's on the shelf, it's gonna catch my eye.
Right. So I've never had any of these.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be interesting to see which one I like the best.
What do you think? I think you're the better person to pick out notes.
You would think, being in the wine business. I know, I actually had to watch a YouTube video before this.
Yeah.
Be like, okay, wine tasting, there's gotta be, it can't be exactly the same as far, wine you're swirling around, trying to get the aromas. But because the alcohol content is different, this is obviously a lot more alcohol content. I don't know exactly how much is in this, but I think 40 is the minimum, the legal minimum for it to be whiskey. And then the guy, he knew what he was talking about, and I know he knew what he was talking about because he had an Irish accent. That's the only credibility I need when it comes to this.
Were you watching a proper 12?
I think it might have been a Macallan one, but yeah. So he's like, you don't swirl it because you don't need to do that. He was saying the color, a darker one doesn't mean it's more expensive or aged more, because a lot of them put there's some kind of caramel coloring that they have that a lot of them will put in to make it either darker or lighter, just match a certain color. Macallan. Let's go with Macallan. They said that they don't put any of that in there. So the natural color is strictly from the barrel that it's aged in, which I thought was pretty cool. But this one, it's really smooth. I get a lot of butterscotch notes.
Yeah, I think anything you say, you pick out, I'm gonna agree, because my vocabulary doesn't work that way.
Hey, that's how I learned a lot of wine terms. I just learned to agree with people. I taste this, taste this. Yeah, very good. Yeah. I know nothing about wine at this point. Now.
Yeah.
No, I've learned more about wine in the last few years. Obviously, I don't know if you know this, but I didn't drink up until I started working for the winery. Didn't drink at all. So, well, just before. Didn't drink my entire life, and then started working with family. So I started drinking.
Yeah. So what happened before? what you were damaged before then?
I also didn't smoke cigars. Just hanging around the wrong people, and I started drinking and smoking. But no, I seeing the bad side too many times through friends and all that stuff. Yeah. I'm like,
oh, gotcha.
I was more of the caretaker of everybody.
Okay.
I'll make sure hey, let's have a good time, but let's go ahead and I'll drive home. I'll make sure we get home safe. And
even before knowing that story, you put out that vibe.
Yeah.
Even when you go into the, when people go into the winery, as soon as they walk in, they talk to you. Basically anybody at the winery. Mm-hmm. But talking about you could tell you're gonna get taken care of.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been training for this my whole life. Taking care of people, and yeah, that's.
But back to this one, I'm trying to find something. For some reason, I find it a little minty. I don't know why, but.
You don't have any. You're not chewing any gum right now.
No. Smoking the cigar. No, I went to a winery and I mentioned if they sold cigars because they had a couple of cigar boxes, but that's just where they stored like receipts and stuff. Oh, gotcha. You probably know about this more than me, but they said that people who smoke cigars, people who drink wine don't typically smoke cigars because it kills your taste buds somehow. Is that true?
I have not heard that, but again, I've only been drinking for 3 years.
Oh, okay. Well, you're doing a great job.
Thanks. I'm pretty good at acting like I know what I'm talking about. And YouTube is a great place to...
It's a great education.
Oh, yeah. And then this is actually kind of funny. So our restaurant went ahead and moved to our fall menu. And one of the things they put on the menu are mushroom cigars. And that's this right here. So it's an appetizer. And when I saw that, I was like, because I was already trying to plan this episode. Yeah. I'm like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
We're definitely having these.
So what do we have here?
So they're stuffed with mushroom and wrapped in a almost like a tortilla, but it's a very, very thin breaded.
That's mushroom
wrap.
In here.
Yeah.
And I like mushroom.
Good.
And what's this?
This is dipping sauce.
That must be an industry term.
It is an industry term, not very well known. So I'm not a double dipper, but I go to the other end.
Gotcha.
You can double. I don't.
No.
You're all good.
It's okay.
We're friends.
We are now. They brought me out here.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So this is where we grow everything. Grow all our vines. So these are really good.
I'm gonna go ahead and do what I gotta do here. These are amazing. Wow.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're great now. Imagine at like 2 a.m.
It'll probably taste even better once we're through all these.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so let's move on to the next one. And this is the Macallan.
You got to think about it a little too hard.
It's a hard word for me to say. It shouldn't be. It should be an easy word for me to say. But this is a Macallan 12.
This has more aroma to it for me. If that means anything. Is it wrong? I find some distinction between the two, but they taste very similar.
I think so too. I think I like the red breast better.
It's a little smoother, right?
It's
Not that this one's harsh
right.
by any means, but
right.
that one's a little smoother.
I did enjoy that one more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're both 12.
Both 12.
Yeah.
Yep. And yeah, so that's the Macallan and the red breast. Look at the color.
I never would have even thought that they added color to this.
Yeah.
Because I know tequila they do. And well, now I'm guessing every type of alcohol does.
Probably. I mean, if you're looking to try to stand out or just look different, or because I wouldn't have known that. I would have just thought like, okay, the darker one's obviously been aged more.
Yeah.
So if that's the perception, or people don't have that extended knowledge, then yeah, I'll do the darker one, because
right.
I want to seem more elegant, or I want to have a more expensive experience.
Gotcha.
Perceptively, but I guess that's not necessarily true.
And that goes a lot with cigars too. There's a lot of cigars that they look scary. They look, like the dark ones people don't tend to go towards because they might think they're a little stronger. But it's not always the case.
Yeah. So we got to talk about this because I thought this was hilarious. You actually went viral earlier this year.
I did.
For a beautiful golf shot. And it actually got on Ridiculousness, on Rob Dyrdek's Ridiculousness.
It got on Ridiculousness.
Did they contact you and tell you?
They contacted me, and it seemed shady from the beginning because it was this one person, and then on their bio it said MTV, whatever the title was.
Right.
Hey,
Bitcoin influencer.
And they had mentioned I work for MTV. We saw your video on Barstool. We want to put you on Ridiculousness. I'm like, sure, let's do that. And then they started asking like who was holding the camera. So I was a talent. It's not even my video. It was my phone. And I was considered a talent. So they had to contact my friend holding my phone.
Oh, and that's how it is with
apparently
the legalities and everything. I learned that like maybe 2 months ago. I was trying to figure out something to do for a certain video, and I'm like, oh, it's whoever is who's holding the camera, not if you're like, hey buddy, can you take this?
It's there.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, I guess I should have said, they sent him the check, so I guess I should have just said I was on a stand or something.
Oh, you didn't even get paid for it?
I didn't get paid for it. He got paid for it.
Oh my gosh.
But
hopefully he bought you some nice cigars.
No, yeah, he's a good guy. I mean, he's giving me way more than whatever that check was, so there's nothing,
Yeah,
but,
that's awesome.
So yeah, that happened, and Kevin Dillon, I was hoping they'd make fun of my swing more, and I'm also happy that I didn't give him much to work on. Right. Because even it's a nice swing, you just don't really know what happened. Yeah. And then, yeah, that was pretty insane for me because I didn't think that they would. Right. First of all, even being on the bar stool, it's tough to get on there. You have to be either really good or really bad. Yeah. And I guess I was the latter of that.
Well, the swing was really good. The swing looked really good, but yeah, the ball flight. So, do you know what happened? Like afterwards, you're like, oh, I pulled my head, or I did this or that.
They recorded my bad swing, and then the swing right after. The swing right after was not obviously, but it was a good shot. And I slow-mo it, and I just don't know what happened. So that's scary that it could happen at any time. So we sent it to the Golf Rules. It's a Instagram page, and they said that wasn't considered a stroke penalty because it stayed within the tee box.
Well, that's good to know.
It's good to know. I mean, it cost me a stroke at the time with my buddies, but we didn't know.
Yeah.
Either way, 115 or 114, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you're mad at the end of the day either way. So.
Yeah. It was good. It was. That's been good. Getting on that. Not that it brought anything towards business, but it was just cool to be on TV.
Yeah.
It's better than being on there than on Cops or
There are worse shows to be on
or Cheaters or something.
Up, yeah.
Oh yeah. But that was interesting. Actually, I was hoping to meet Kevin Dillon when I was down in LA this last week.
Yeah.
But hopefully it happens sooner or later, and I can have him rate my swing in person.
Yeah. That's awesome. You ready to try the next one?
I am, actually.
Right,
I set it down because I thought that was
so I'll put
the vibe.
The bottle out here. So this is Blanton's. And this is actually the very first single barrel bourbon whiskey made.
Really?
Yeah. Not this exact
Not
bottle.
Not that bottle, but
this brand.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Blanton's, I've heard of it. I haven't drank. I've tasted Blanton's maybe 2 years ago for the first time, and then when I was watching
Cops.
Well, what's that show with Kevin Spacey? House of Cards.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So he's always pouring Blanton's. So once I started tasting it, I was like, oh, that's what I'm like the president right now,
right. So right off the bat, this has a lot of very sweet tones that I'm picking up. Almost like a cherry pie.
Cherry pie?
That's what I'm getting.
I want to look in your nose.
That's a weird thing to say.
I'm trying to find the cherry pie. It smells sweet, and I think the more I inhale it, the stronger I could smell the alcohol.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's really good. All these are very good.
This is for me, it's like super, I hate using the word buttery, but it's a little buttery for me. It kind of puts a layer in my mouth.
Good.
Not in a bad way, because it's a good layer. It tastes great. This is, I mean, a very expensive table wine.
Yeah.
Everybody would enjoy this.
How are you liking the cigar?
It looks like it's aged properly. It's other than the size, I don't like them for myself this big. But if I'm out here, I do. On the golf course, I enjoy something a little smaller, because I'll smoke two, possibly three cigars on the golf course.
Gotcha.
But if it's this good, I'm gonna smoke this one. It's a really easy smoke, great draw. You don't have to work at it.
Right.
You seem like you are. But you don't have to work much at it to get a nice draw in there. Even on a cold draw, which is, in layman's terms, where you suck on the cigar without lighting it and just kind of get some of those flavors and get a feel for how it's gonna get the oxygen through. Yeah. It's a solid cigar. It's a really solid cigar, and locally, right?
Yeah, local. So Stellar Knox, buddy of mine, Jesse, actually makes them, and got a website. He started this business up a couple years ago, StellarKnox.com, and yeah, he's been making them himself and selling them, and finding some pretty good success out of it. So what I really like is that they are, wrapped in the light and dark. Leaves. So it not only is it very smooth, to me at least, very smooth, easy smoking, but it also looks cool. Being double wrapped.
That candy cane. So yeah. I wouldn't know if it's safe to say more than likely, or most of the time, but they'll do like a Connecticut and an Habano, which is, like a much softer and then a heavier leaf as for this type. But this looks like it might be on the higher end, so maybe like an Habano and a little bit of higher nicotine and power leaf. Those terms are not industry terms. Those are East LA terms.
So.
But this is really good. You could tell by the ash, you know, it's a little bit more whiter than what you would normally see for a cigar that's aged less. So well-aged cigar will produce a really white ash.
Okay.
And this is what it is. This is a great cigar.
So you started off the episode saying, I don't know much about cigars.
You know what?
Everything you're saying,
all that
I'm just
information.
Like, wow, I'm learning a lot.
All that information would just vomit from friends. I called a friend about a cigar that he's never had before, and I was just describing how it smoked and how it was burning, and he told me everything there is to know about that cigar, or you know, close enough.
Yeah.
And a lot of that has to do with this. It was a very similar smoke, so. That's all I got, though. That's it.
Well, that's probably light years ahead of a lot of people, especially me. I smoke cigars every once in a while, special occasions. My brother-in-law is big into cigars, and I learned this year is I'm only going to smoke a cigar, not just for the sake of smoking a cigar. It's got to be a good cigar. And I learned that by smoking a horrible cigar, just for fun. So we were in Hawaii, and my brother-in-law ended up coming out. He's a cigar guy. I had my golf bag with me because we were golfing out there, and I actually had 2 leftover cigars that I got from Pelican Hill golf course. I don't know if they were good
just
cigars.
Just in your bag?
Just in the bag. Well, they're in like the little plastic tubes,
okay.
But yeah, in the bag. And I just got them a few days before, and I don't know if they were good cigars, but they were expensive.
Yeah, Pelican
I don't know if they were good.
Anything at Pelican Hill.
Yeah, exactly. And so we smoked those the first night, and then the next night we wanted to do it again. You know, that was really relaxing. Sat on like the lanai and smoked some cigars, and we're just hanging out, listening to music. This is great. And then we tried to duplicate that with some different cigars. We went across the street to the grocery store, and they had 2 humidors, which is a glorified term for what they actually had, because it was more of like an enclosed shelf.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much it. And one of them looked like it had not a great selection of cigars, but better than what we ended up getting. But they had a sign on the door. We can't find the key, so we can't open.
That's what the sign said?
That's what the sign said.
Wow.
So I'm like, but those look way better than the ones we can't open. And there's like 3 cigars left in the other one. One of them's, you know, crooked. So we got the other 2, and that weren't as crooked. And we're like, this is going to be a terrible experience. We already had low expectations. Yeah. We still go out, we smoke them, and they were the worst cigars we've ever had, that I've ever had.
Do you happen to remember what made it bad?
Mainly the taste.
Yeah. If you find yourself spitting a lot while smoking a cigar,
yeah.
It's not the greatest cigar.
Yeah.
I found.
Right.
It's it's not great. This is I'm gonna use the term again, buttery.
Yeah.
This is a really smooth cigar.
Yeah, and I've had several of these. These have become my favorite, not just because my buddy makes them, but because I really enjoy them.
It's nice to have a go-to.
Exactly.
Yeah. And this is, if I see it on the shelf, like I said, it's gonna catch my eye because of this experience.
Yeah, and it's a nice label. Really sticks out like purple and gold.
It's a good sized cigar, so
yeah.
even for times like these or on the golf course, I've seen people who smoke huge cigars on the golf course.
Yeah.
But there's only so many companies that make cigars that big,
right.
And they just know that they're good. This is a good sized cigar, I think, for times like these for me.
Yeah.
Because it's a special occasion.
It's okay. We're in California. It doesn't matter. Ashes.
Nothing
lights up in California.
Oh, you got a pond over there. I think we're fine.
Yeah, we're close to water. So, what is your favorite golf course to play at?
Obviously, the ones I played. It's not hard. It's gonna be the Paynes Valley in Missouri.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I saw that you went to that, and that's Tiger Woods' course.
Tiger Woods' course. I mean, you could land a plane. The course is laid out the way Tiger plays. So he's a little wayward with his drive sometimes. He's a little wide for a pro. Obviously, I can get way wider.
A little wide, you know, barely to the left of the fairway, or barely to the right.
But so those fairways are so open, you can just go to town and hit it as hard as you can, and for the most part, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Playing it from they require you, if you're gonna play from the Tiger tees, to be 1 to 2 handicap or better.
Gotcha.
18th hole though, I played from the Tiger tees, and it was tough. You had to clear the water, and
They're like, "What are you doing up here? Get out of here! Get out of here!" Did they have a guy up there that's like, "Hey, you can't play here"? Could already tell.
But it was a tough hole even from back there.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't play it from there. I just hit it just to hit it. But yeah, to clear the hazard was like, I only cleared it by like 30 yards, which would have been, I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I hit the ball far. So for somebody who doesn't, it would have been tough to play the whole course from there. And that's, the course was in great shape.
Yeah.
Sand was great, not that I was in there much, but the sand was great. Everything was just top shelf service. As soon as you walk into the clubhouse, it's I wish they had more Tiger stuff though. I wish it was more Tiger based.
Gotcha.
You know, so it feels like he's there kinda, right? But aside from that, the views were awesome. They have a few courses down there, and out of those 3 that we played, it was Ozark National, Buffalo Ridge, and then Paynes Valley. Paynes Valley was the best. Yeah. Even though I tripled 18 to shoot an 80, I have to go back and redeem myself there. I know nobody asked me about my score, but that's what it was.
Nice little, you know, oh yeah, 80 is so bad. Oh man, that stinks. Yeah.
But I definitely have to go back for that. And
it's not impressive when your job is this. Your
when
job
you live
is
on
to
the
play
course.
golf and promote your brand.
Oh man, but I think from the ones I played, Spyglass would be a very close second.
That's my number 1.
Yeah.
I haven't played Paynes Valley after seeing what you post on Instagram of it.
Yeah. With
now I gotta go.
With the 19th hole, I was playing really well. So the 19th hole is an added hole. It doesn't really count through the score. You can if you wanted to, but it's a par 3, island green. It's about, I don't know, 115 yards downhill.
Oh, okay.
So
that's tough.
It's kind of tough. Plus the pressure where they don't let you hit again. Even if you go in the water, you're done.
You'd have to play a whole round to get to
Basically, yeah. And I was thinking, if I go in the water, I'm just gonna hit till I get on the green. And the guy's like, no, you're not. You got 1 shot.
Yeah.
And I think out of all of us, I think 3 of us made it on the green. But regardless, it was a great experience. There's water feature on almost every hole, and just going all the way out there to Missouri. Missouri itself is a beautiful place.
I've never been to Missouri, but probably like a lot of other people out that live in California are like, oh, well, pretty much everything else to the East Coast is flat. Nothing.
You know, Missouri got me on the fence that the world is flat.
Yeah.
Because we were up top and you could just see nothing.
Yeah.
And obviously it's not. But, no, I would recommend it. I actually want to go back. Yeah. Even if we plan a golf trip, I want to go back there because it's just such a great experience. Everything is just great there.
Yeah. What about locally within the Sacramento, Stockton area?
My favorite course around here that I like to play is the Reserve at Spanos Park in Stockton.
Okay.
I don't normally come out to Sacramento that often, especially since that course pretty much stays pure year round. It's a couple of months here and there in the summer, but it stays pretty pure. It continuously stays tough. Yeah. Last 4 holes have water, or 3 holes have water. So if you're tired, maybe a little buzz, it's gonna play some challenge. You get a lot of wind in the evening. I just really like that course. Yeah. It's worth the price tag for it. Yeah.
Okay. I haven't played out there yet. One of my favorite local courses within the area. I mean, it's a little bit outside of like the local range, but still you're there within, you know, a little over an hour, hour and a half. Yochadehi.
Oh, why did I miss that?
That's one of my favorites. I actually played that on Friday.
That's such a gem.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people, like, they know of Cache Creek. They know, you know, you see the billboards everywhere, and they sponsor like the Kings, and, or used to at least. And so you know of it. You feel like it's a lot closer, but it is about an hour and a half. It's like 30 minutes past Woodland.
From here, for you, it's an hour and a half?
Yeah, for us, yeah.
For me, it's about an hour 45. So,
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So I guess I only played it so many times a year because of that. Yeah. And you feel like you want to get there early and enjoy all the amenities, all the great food, great drinks. But yeah, I mean, that's I take everything back. That's my favorite course to play locally. Second would be the reserve, because it is local.
Yeah.
And it is close, and it, like I said, it's state spirit. But Yochadihi, that's a Northern California jam that not a lot of people know about.
Absolutely. And the way that I mean, everything is perfectly manicured.
All the time.
The grass is perfectly green. And yeah, it's such a treat to go out there. Even once you get past the casino and head towards the golf course and go kind of that windy road, and you start seeing these hills and the the old oak trees kind of spread out throughout there.
You get little peaks of the course as you're driving up to it,
exactly.
and you can see it, and just pure.
It's beautiful.
And they really take care of the native land too.
Absolutely.
You know, there's certain areas where you're not allowed to walk in because it is native.
Gotcha.
Which is great, and they have their own water source, and they take care of it. They make sure it's watered, and it's a great place. I like the whole ambiance of that golf course. Right. But it is say it's 2 hours away. We'll just say it.
Yeah.
But it's every time you think it's 2 hours away. Well, it's 2 hours away, and then once you get there, you forget about it.
Right.
The range.
You're not worried about it.
The range is included. Great range. After you finish 18th hole, they have a nice little towel for you.
Right. It's like the mango infused towel.
Something you take a little whore bath with it, and then and then it makes it all worth it. It makes you want to come back.
Yeah. Hey man, this is a clean family show.
Okay.
Can't say whore bath. I'm just kidding.
Man.
We're smoking cigars and drinking whiskey. It's not for children. Yeah, that's easily my favorite course locally. For the second course, I really like Catapadera. Have you ever played out there in Lincoln?
I haven't.
It's a beautiful
in
course.
Woodland?
Lincoln.
Lincoln, okay.
Yeah, just past Rockland.
Just because from us is for not
far.
playing it before,
Yeah.
it's a far drive, but whatever. I haven't played it, but
it's no Yochadihi, so you may think about your drive.
Oh, gotcha.
Going out there. Yocha, once you're out there, I mean, what's crazy about going back to Yocha is for a long time you're driving, there's nothing. It's all farmland. And
basically
then
till you get to the
casino.
Till you get to the
casino. Till you get around that last little ridge. There's a casino there.
Yeah.
Here's next right. Okay. Pull in and then go there. And they got their own fire station there and gas station.
Bucket seats on the golf carts.
Yeah, golf carts are really. So that's the one thing that I don't like. They're super nice golf carts, but I don't like the golf carts that are too smart. That have the GPS, and if you go just a little past the
you gotta
cart
back out.
return side, they got to reverse at like half a mile an hour, and you got to reverse. So I'm like,
they should make that reverse faster.
They should either make the reverse faster or stop you, like not an abrupt stop, but like immediately. They let you go for a while just to be like to teach you a lesson. Really.
I mean, everybody's on the green. They're like, "Where's Jesse?" And you hear,
still beep, back it up, man.
But that course is great course. Yeah. I tell people about it, and they think about the drive. Is it really worth it? I'm like, it is.
It's 100% worth it.
It's always worth it. But yeah, I mean, obviously you got the courses out in Monterey.
Oh yeah.
Which they're tough to beat.
Yeah.
Out of the three, which one do you like? Well, there's that Monterey Peninsula, Spyglass, and Pebble.
Spyglass is my favorite. Spyglass, Pebble. You know what? And I wasn't a big fan of Spanish Bay.
Okay.
I don't know if it was because I played very bad at Spanish Bay, which that could have been a lot of the reason. But I think it was because I just, Spyglass, there's nothing even close to Spyglass, at least that I can think of, where you have the woods environment and then you go into like the only other, and this is another great local course, Edgewood in South Lake Tahoe.
Yeah. I mean, both hefty price tags. You
for
do
sure.
like nice things.
Yeah. I gotta sell a lot more wine so I can play those regularly, but
and the only time I played Edgewood twice. The only time I have played Edgewood is because my company paid for it.
Oh, that's nice.
And where I used to work. Thank you guys. But the ball goes a lot further. It is a heck of a course. There's some history to the course. You're in Tahoe. Yeah. It's a great time. And not too far from there, Genoa.
Yeah, Genoa Lakes.
They have great courses out there too.
Yeah. I played there one time for a bachelor party a few years ago, and it had to have been the coldest non-snowy day.
Cold, yeah. It gets
that I've ever experienced. And I'm like, guys, we gotta quit.
Yeah.
This is miserable.
While you were playing.
Yeah, and I was layered too. I had golf pants, and underneath I had like thermal pants. And then I have these winter golf gloves that go on each hand. They're like thick wool gloves, but they're golf gloves. And like 2 jackets.
That's
like,
almost too much, right? You can't even play
well.
I
was playing terrible and I was freezing. And I'm like, guys, let's just go eat.
Yeah.
Let's not do this. But they're like, no, we're gonna finish it. Okay.
What else is there? There is a lot of golf. Thankfully, there's a lot of great golf in California and in Northern California. A lot of courses that people don't know about.
Yeah.
Up in Lincoln. What is the other place?
Whitney Oaks.
Whitney Oaks.
Yeah, I'm playing there tomorrow, actually.
Are you?
Yeah, that's where that golf tournament is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I haven't played it, but I hear great things.
I've never played it either, and what's funny is, in my mind, because I played another course out there with my brothers-in-law, and it wasn't Whitney Oaks, but in my mind, I was thinking that it was.
Okay.
And the course that we played was a fine course, but it wasn't like a
Whitney
nice
Oaks.
course. So when they told me Whitney Oaks, I'm like, oh, okay, like, all right, yeah, all right. It's fine.
Yeah.
And then I look up directions to Whitney Oaks tonight to see how long it's going to take me to get out there. And then I'm seeing pictures of this course. I'm like, this is a beautiful course. I'm like, this is definitely not the place I was thinking.
From what I've heard, it's a really shot placement course.
Great.
Yeah. You don't.
I'm gonna have a tough time tomorrow. Gosh.
From what I heard, tournaments usually play from the white, so I think you'll be fine.
Yeah.
As long as
you would think.
Well, you know what? At tournaments like, what is it? A scramble?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, golf is secondary,
yeah.
So just go out there and have a good time. You'll be fine.
You said you said your tagline. That was cool. That's like when you're in the movie and they say the name of the movie.
The name of the movie. What movie was I watching? I was watching Training Day yesterday, and then Denzel, he goes, "This is your training day." I'm like,
"So that's the name of the movie."
But yeah,
that's awesome.
Yep,
So how'd you come up with that slogan? Did you hear it somewhere?
Yeah,
or kind of put
another
it together?
person I owe a lot to. It was since I work per diem at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
As a phlebotomist, so I was drawing on a patient, drawing his blood, and he had a tournament shirt on. You know, they hand out sometimes. Mm-hmm. And I was asking about the golf course, and he said it was a golf tournament. He goes, we didn't place, and a little bit of a conversation. And at the end, we were talking about how just really for those tournaments, just out there to have a good time. If you win, great. Usually, people who win, they bought $1,000 worth of mulligans. Or just cheated, which is whatever.
Which is golf tournaments.
Yeah. I mean, that's expected, I guess. It shouldn't be, but it is.
Right.
For an honors game.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said, yeah. I mean, at that point, golf is secondary. And then I was like, I kept repeating it in my head. I'm like, that's got to go on a T-shirt. Like, awesome. Golf is secondary. Yeah. But yeah, another person I owe a lot to. It just, it's been working out. That little, I wouldn't call it a campaign, but that little thing that we got going on with that. People are starting to realize what that means, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and it's such a great summary of where the game is headed, at least as a casual golfer, non-PGA Tour golfer, to where it's a social aspect. You especially with you bring the cigars and the whiskeys. Hey, we're out here, we're having a good time, and exactly, golf is secondary. However we play. Let's not take it as seriously and let's actually have fun.
Right.
And I think that's what's making golf a lot more popular.
Right.
Because golf historically has been an old man's sport, and there's a lot of,
been very exclusive.
Exactly. And
for some reason.
It's really cool to see a lot of younger people get into golf. And a lot of these brands that are coming out with golf that are extremely I feel like an old person. Extremely hip. All these hip golf brands. But the shirts are getting more flamboyant, and the
or even way more casual too.
Exactly, and you have like the hybrid golf shoe is like one of the most popular golf shoes you can get. I've got a pair that I love, and even like with the joggers, golf joggers, it's becoming a little bit more lax on the golf course, and I think it's something that the sport absolutely needed because. You're pushing a lot of people away when you had these strict rules. Like, I just want to play golf and have a good time, and that's what I love about your company, because that's the whole theme of it.
Yeah, it's kind of the vibe that we're trying to put out. Obviously, you still have to respect the course.
Yeah.
You have to respect everybody else's time. Not everybody there is there to have a 5-hour round. If you suck fast. You know, keep it going.
It's a family show, man. Come on. Oh my goodness. All right, you're cut off. That's it.
But you know, keep it moving. Not everybody's there to be there all day.
Oh my goodness.
But you know, so I like to bring out the good time on the golf course. I don't typically take my bad shots too serious because, well, for me, I don't know what it would be like to somebody who sucks at it.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Well, let me tell you. I played golf the other day for my brother-in-law's birthday. I bought a pack of 12 golf balls, and by hole 10, I was out of golf balls.
Well, for somebody who likes nice things, that was a pack of Pro V1s.
It was not.
Okay.
It was not. I tried to cheap out on the golf balls, and you know, if I had Pro V1s, I probably would have taken better care of them. But yeah, I just, for whatever we played, this was Tuesday, so it was super windy on Monday, so and Tuesday was windy too, but all the leaves on the course, we played.
It was hard to find them, yeah.
And I mean, I'm like, oh, that's a great shot. Couldn't find it. And to me, that's the most frustrating thing with golf, is when you finally hit a good shot
and you can't,
and then it's nowhere to be found.
Did they count your stroke, or did they say you could just drop for free?
So, I keep myself to a high standard when it comes to golf.
I used
to cheat all the time.
That's where you and I differ.
Okay, good to know. So, but I used to cheat, and then my other brother-in-law would always get on me about it, because I grew up playing golf with my dad, and like, so my golf rules are his golf rules, and then now getting older and playing with him more, I'm like, you cheat a lot. I didn't realize how much you cheated. And so now I'm at a point where I want to get better at the sport, and I want my scores to improve, and I want it to be a true score.
Right.
So you're like, oh, well, you know, I'll just hit another one and I won't count it, or, you know, oh, there's a provisional, and like, I just won't count my first shot that I actually end up pounding. And so I want to keep myself, I want to see the actual improvement, and my scores have definitely not improved from that.
It's getting worse.
They've gotten way worse since I stopped cheating.
But you feel better about it.
You would think that I would feel better if I didn't cheat and I played an honest game, but it does not help. It's nice seeing that sometimes. I used to fill my scorecard out before I even started playing. Like, this is my scorecard, and then we'll just start there.
We do that at scrambles.
Like charity events?
Yeah.
Where you're not supposed to, even supposed to
We know how many mullins we got. Like, so everybody here is this one under for sure.
Yeah, we usually buy 72 mulligans.
Oh, nice. I need better friends. I gotta play with you.
I'm just kidding. Oh, man. That's
no,
funny.
but yeah, like we were saying, that golf is definitely becoming way more inclusive. You know, music wasn't really okay till a few years ago.
Right. Yeah.
And that I can't play without music.
Right.
It's
too quiet.
It's way too quiet. I sometimes I'll forget a speaker. We'll all forget our speaker, and then we're done at the end of the round. I'm like, that was pretty lame.
Yeah.
Like there was something missing. Like, oh yeah, we forgot our music. Music, especially when you got a few drinks going.
Right.
You hear your song.
Right.
And then you know, it just keeps the vibes going.
Oh yeah. And it makes it even more fun, and it's great that it's being more and more acceptable. The last several golf tournaments that I played in, we've had Ryan Winter, the 2012 World Long Drive champ, who was a guest on the show.
Big guy.
They don't call him Man Bear for nothing. I mean, he is a big guy. I accidentally switched drinks with him. So what he likes to do Trulies and vodka, because he's on the carnivore diet, doesn't really do carbs.
Okay.
And Trulies are like his one exception, has like 2 carbs in it. Like, oh, okay.
I have tried that, but I'll tell you in a sec. Go ahead.
Okay. So we came out here to hit golf balls, and we're doing a little segment for Feast and Flight. And he's a big guy, so he put a lot more vodka in his drink than I did mine. And we only had a couple Trulies left, and he likes the berry one, like the acai berry or whatever. And we had that, and we had like the lime one, or you know, it was like a strawberry kiwi is what it was, and he didn't like that one. So we had those 2, and then I accidentally take the one he wanted and put it in mine. I was like, oh shoot. He's like, hey, you took my drink. Oh, I didn't know that. That's okay, we'll just switch. And he had a red Solo cup, and it was filled 3/4 of the way with vodka.
Yeah.
And then just a little dash of the Truly. I'm like, no, we'll be fine. And then by the time we were on our way back to the restaurant, I wasn't driving, and we're talking, we're doing a little interview, and I'm like, my tongue is fuzzy. I'm like, I'm slurring my words. I'm just like, what is going on? Oh man, I got probably the most drunk I've ever gotten in that moment, and I didn't even finish the whole drink. It was just like, I'm like, how do you? And he'll drink that and be fine.
Yeah.
He'll drink multiple, be fine.
Well,
It doesn't affect him at all.
Different animal.
Like, this is never switch drinks with a bear. I got it. But anyways, he's been playing with us, and he's got one of those bump boxes, which I think are located in Stockton. Those guys.
Yeah, they're actually going to be at our golf tournament.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Awesome. So I guess they made one for him, has the Driven Golf Show,
Okay.
you know, all tagged on there, and so he'll bring that. And those things, they sound amazing, and he barely has it on, and you can hear it from a mile away. And so he's been bringing that, put it on the back of the golf cart, fits perfectly right around there.
I mean, that's extra luggage for sure. That's a big box.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they make smaller ones, but yeah, I'm sure you got the big one.
Yeah, he's got the biggest one that they made at the time. I know they have a bigger one since then, but his is a few years old. But yeah, it just sounds great, and everybody's you know, it's just like these. It's a conversation piece.
Right.
So it's really cool. So the golf tournament coming up October 30th, right?
Right. Yeah, we're playing at Alcorn in Stockton.
Okay. So tell me about the golf tournament and the charity that's linked with it.
We're doing the golf tournament October 30th, and we're working our way to having a full field. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of people who are attending as far as like vendors, so it's just like a guaranteed good time.
Yeah.
And you know, we have on-course games, drinks, food before and after and during, and we're trying to benefit we're benefiting the campaign one at a time.
Okay.
So that's a charity that helps raise money for cancer awareness for children.
Gotcha.
So we recently found out before this event, because we really wanted to benefit a local charity. Mm-hmm. We found out that the cancer research, it's only about 4% of it. 4% of the funds go towards children, which I would seem it's pretty low.
Right.
And so we're trying to raise some money for that, bring awareness to it, and they also work as some type of like a Make-A-Wish for a lot of these families as well. Mm-hmm. And so it's a great local charity that we're willing to benefit, and just go out there and have a good time, raise some money for the charity. Yeah. That's basically what it is, right? I mean, bring some awareness to the charity, let people know that that's what it is, and they're gonna the founders are gonna be there because they had a case themselves with their daughter.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, she died of leukemia, and at 2 years old.
Jeez.
Yeah, and so once we heard that, and it's a close friend, and like, well, we need more of this. Like, we need people to know that this is an issue, because there is definitely tons of cancer research, but as far as for children, not to sound rude or anything, but I think children should have a little bit more of a chance, right? That's gonna sound the way it sounds, right? But everybody has family with cancer, knows somebody. Right. But as far as children, it tugs at my heart a lot.
Yeah.
So we're trying to raise some money for that. We're trying to sell out and also just make sure everybody has a great time. And it's nothing like having a great time and still feeling good about yourself.
For a good cause. Yeah.
And still
whether you play good at golf or not.
It does not matter.
It
Why?
Doesn't matter, because you're going to feel good.
Why?
Because golf is secondary.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Are there still spots available for the
There's still
tournament?
a few spots available. There's probably about 15 spots available. Okay. We were just allowing foursomes, but now I think everybody, just to save myself a headache of everybody signing up single and pairing up people.
Right.
But I think everybody who's already paired up or bought into it as a foursome has already done so.
Gotcha.
And there's been a lot of people who just want to sign up as a single.
Yeah.
So we have that opportunity too. And I know most of these people that are signed up for it, there's no way you're not going to have a good time.
Yeah.
And like I said, Bump Box is going to be there. We have some music, we have food on the course, we have a Brick Oven Pizza Company that's going to be distributing.
Awesome.
A couple of local breweries. We have about 4 kegs that are going to be on the course and just giving out some drinks, and at the end it's just really trying to raise some money for the charity, as well as having a good time.
Right. That's awesome, man. Like we would love to donate some of our sparkling vignette cans to your golf tournament, and if you're willing to have some there.
Of course.
Yeah. So,
I mean, that's dangerous right there.
Yeah.
People are gonna love that, and you're gonna. I want to say that I don't have a huge circle, but from the people who we brought to your winery, it's one of their top, and we live in Lodi,
right,
where they go from.
Do they have wine out in Lodi?
They have a tad. I think they have, what is it, Pruno?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, what is it, Zen capital of the world, right? In Lodi. So they're willing to drive back out to Atkins, and they tell, and same thing I told you, the experience that we have, they have the same experience when they come out. So awesome. It's just straight across the board. It doesn't matter that it's me, it doesn't matter who it is. It just, you guys treat everybody great, which makes it, right? The experience makes it. And then the wine is great.
Yeah. Wine is secondary.
Yeah.
Yeah, we act like it's the best because we put a lot of care and effort into our wine. Obviously, thank you for saying that. We definitely appreciate it. We love when you and your friends come in, and your wife, and yeah, it's been awesome to see your journey and see the growth of your company and be able to take it on full time. And if people wanted to learn more about the golf tournament, where can they go? They
can go to StogiesNBogeys.com. That's StogiesNBogeys. I should really shorten that. Yeah. But it's StogiesNBogeys.com, and you can find me on Instagram at StogiesNBogeys, Facebook as well. And just let me know if you're going to come out, or even if you just wanted to donate for the cause. We're going to have a great swag bag. I mean, you're going to make your money back on the tournament. It was $175 a person. Gotcha. You're going to make your money back before you even tee off. Gotcha. Just from all the stuff we're going to have. So hope to see everybody out there. I mean, I know you guys can't make it, but next year we're going to have it, and we'll be there next year. You'll be there in spirit. We'll send representatives. But next year we'll definitely be a part of it. Of course. We just unfortunately aren't able to make it this year, but yeah, and then obviously Stogies and Bogeys for StogiesNBogeys.com for these. You guys, you gotta get one of these. These are one of the best accessories, especially if you're into cigars at all. Even if you don't golf, get one of these. Great cigar holder if you're hanging out, having a picnic or whatever, want to smoke a cigar. They're a great stocking stuffer. Everybody knows somebody who golfs, right? I mean, who smokes. And like I said, they're perfect. It's awesome that they're versatile too. Put in the tee hole and the ball hole. There got to be different terms we can use to describe some of this stuff. I'll send you a drawing with all the actual terms. Okay, I would appreciate that. Need to up my vocabulary game. But yeah, I really appreciate you coming on the show, trying some whiskeys with us, eating some food. We're gonna get to this because this is really good. This is actually Dungeness crab stuffed petroli sole. What's petroli? It's a fish. Huh? Yeah. Is that how you catch it? With the crab? The crab. Just eats the crab and then we cook it. That must be very expensive because that's a once-in-a-lifetime chance. You know what? And I actually took photos of this because I do the marketing for the restaurant and all that. So I took photos of this the other day for one of the new items for the fall menu. Nobody told me what any of the food was. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, it's fish, but there's something off about it. It looks bigger than it should be, but it's because it's stuffed with Dungeness crab. And so I haven't tried this yet, so I'm excited to try this with you. Okay, me too. But yeah, check out StogiesNBogeys.com. Look into the golf tournament. You got to get one of these. I'm serious. Get one of these cigar holders. And thanks for watching Feast and Flight. This is actually our season finale for season 1. We'll be back for season 2 here pretty soon. So follow us on Instagram, feastandflight.com, Stogies and Bogeys on Instagram as well. And we'll see you next season. Thanks for watching. 3, 2, 1. Here we go!